I'm Sen, and welcome to my bedroom. Today I'm going to give you 23 unique-ish, creative-ish ways to decorate your walls. This is particularly helpful if you have a small bedroom, like me, or some kind of dorm space where you don't have a lot of physical real estate to put stuff besides your walls. Also not sure how the lighting is working out. I apologize if it's way too dark in here. I'm probably color grading the heck out of it anyways, but just so you know, this is without color grading, so it is, this is why I don't film in here. Anyways, back to the video. Before we get started, just make sure to have some kind of color scheme or idea that you have in mind. As you can tell, I'm more of like a chill, artsy person. I like color, but not too much of it and not too vibrant of it. There is a decent amount of white in here, partially because my room is small. And if that's not your style, don't worry. There's probably still something in this video that will serve as cool inspiration for another style. Now let's talk about the decor itself. I like to have pretty big centerpieces, and then I kind of center all these little ones around it with this one in mind. So some ideas for big pieces that you can incorporate are world or region maps, botanical or vintage posters, movie or TV or anime posters, art posters off of Society6, Etsy. You can also go to your nearest thrift shops and see if their collections are any good. Mine aren't. Or even if they aren't, you can still thrift them for the frames. Take out the thing inside and then put your own artwork or whatever inside. We'll have some examples of that later. And just in case you were looking for art to put up on your walls, here's a bunch of artists who I really enjoy the work of, but unfortunately cannot afford. For the little things that you put up in your walls, I like to just put up random stuff that I collect. Paint chips, like these, brochures from museums. This was actually like a fold-out poster kind of a thing from a museum too. Tickets. I don't really have any tickets on here because I haven't gone anywhere in a hot second. But tickets from planes, trains, concerts, museums. I do have this Goodwill, what is it called? Like when you buy clothing, it comes with a tag on it, and so I have a tag from Goodwill. Cards from family or friends. I have this one that says thank you. Sometimes the cover art on like cards that you buy from stores are really cute. Or you could buy postcards. I've seen them on Amazon and Etsy. They're kind of expensive considering they're just like postcards that you're gonna put up on your wall, but they're like really cute. And you could probably gift them to friends or family if you have too many anyways. And like I said, most of the stuff I have on my wall is just completely random that I've collected over the years. So this is an Ann Taylor, the clothing brand, an advertisement we got in the mail. Here's like a little slip of paper that says "You are beautiful" that somebody just like folded up and slipped it into everybody's locker in the girls' locker rooms in like 9th grade. And I thought that was really sweet, so I just, you know, kept it because that's not weird. I have this crab from a friend. It's literally just like a drawing of a crab. I just think it's cool. I have these tear out bookmark things that came in a little booklet. They have like Van Gogh art. I have some on that side of my room as well. And you can really go as crazy as you want with this. One of my friends, okay, the same friend who drew this crab, right? I went over to his house in 8th grade for the first time, and I went into his bedroom, and I look up on his wall, and right above the headboard, there is a singular Pokemon card. The rest of the walls are bare, right? They're like sparkling clean, and there's just one singular Pokemon card slightly off-center, directly above his bed frame. And I was like, this is your room, go wild. Something else you could put up on your walls are photographs. So like Polaroids with the typical white border, film photos, childhood photos. I have a bunch of old childhood photos. You could print random photos off of like Instagram or Pinterest. Random celebrity photos, I guess, if it matches your color scheme. I don't have any of those. The closest I got was hanging up a magazine tear out of Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer from like a Time magazine, and then I realized that Armie Hammer is a cannibal, so I took that down. Anyways, going back to things you can print out. Album covers, but again remember all this stuff is copyrighted, so like don't sell it. And it's kind of sketchy to put it up in your room in the first place, but like as long as you're not making profit, I personally don't see too much of an issue, but that depends on the artist. Another thing you could do if you like the feel of photos as opposed to artwork is you can cut pages out of magazines or calendars, I guess, if you've seen those really pretty calendars. This is random, but I really like lo-fi cover art for some reason, and so I just have this playlist cover here from some video on YouTube. But in order to better support the artist, you could probably click on the link in description that says like, credit to this artist who drew my playlist cover. Go through their Instagram, maybe check out if they have a shop, and then print artwork from there to be a little bit more ethical and support their work. Now let's get into the DIY stuff. my favorite part. So typically the big flashy pieces like the maps or the like posters that you put on your wall will draw enough attention just because they're so huge, and usually because they've got the most definition and color to them, that you don't really need to try for all these little pieces over here. So if you want to put some artwork up on your wall, here are a couple of suggestions. You can use paint or paint markers on top of Polaroids or other kinds of photos. You can doodle on top of existing photos, or in case you have Polaroids that just turned out like all black and blurry, you can paint on top of them instead. Another thing that I've seen a lot on Pinterest recently is just patterned little postcard squares, because they're pretty easy and didn't require too much artistic skill in case you want to put any of these on your walls. Abstract faces, psychedelic waves. You could do these in 2 colors, rainbow, pride colors, there's so many options. This wavy grid thing, pool water, I guess? Fruit? Is that a thing? This negative space type art where the thing itself is white or like a pastel color, but then the background is a darker color. Or collage, which is one of my personal favorites because it doesn't really require much drawing, and the act of gluing little pieces of paper and just sticking them on cardboard is so therapeutic for some unknown reason. I highly recommend you check it out. If you have half-decent art skills, you might be able to recreate a photo that you took or that you saw on Pinterest. And again, the quality of your art genuinely does not need to be that good, because when you have pieces this huge, they draw the attention. Like, nobody is gonna look at these guys anyway. If you actually do art and you have like a huge portfolio stockpile sitting in the corner of your room that your mom keeps telling you that you need to clean up but you keep forgetting because it's not high on your priority list, you could put that stuff up, obviously. It might take a little bit more effort to hang canvases, but if you have like flat paper, that works really well. I have these paintings, one drawing over there. Novel idea, you could rip a sketchbook page out if it's like the rippable kind, or if it's like a moleskin, you can lay it flat, scan it, print that out in color, and then put it on your wall. Because obviously you can't like tape your sketchbook to the wall. Maybe that's not obvious, I don't know who I'm speaking for. Next, something that I like to do is put paint palettes up on my wall. I paint on top of magazine pages, like ones that I'm not using anymore. Or sometimes when you get like a canvas, you can rip the plastic off of the canvas and use that as your palette. It kind of reduces waste, and then you have something cool to put up on your wall for later. And something else that you could do is you could cut big shapes out of construction paper and put that behind everything else you've got going on and use it as a background for all your other art. Now let's talk about non-flat stuff. If you get flowers like a bouquet for graduation or some other event and you don't know what to do with them afterward, you can hang them upside down and just let the water like evaporate out through the bottom, and once they're fully dry, you can put them like in a vase on a table or something as decoration, or you can hang them from your ceiling or the wall. I know baby's breath, roses, herbs like rosemary are really good for this, but there's probably a whole bunch of other flowers. I don't think you can do this with like tulips and stuff, so just Google what types of flowers you're allowed to dry out. On the topic of flowers, you could press them and let them dry out and then like Mod Podge them or glue them onto a piece of cardstock and then just like use them as decoration. Finally, something I've been wanting to get into is macrame. It's still something to brighten up your walls, but it's a little bit more 3D and it's got like a texture to it. You can make little mini ones. I'll link a video in the description that I've been wanting to try out for a while, but I just don't have the right color yarn. But I will get around to it eventually. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. And I'll also be moving into a dorm this fall, so like and subscribe if you want more decorating related content, I guess. Love you guys, I'll see you soon. But yeah, the world is your oyster and your walls are your shell.